Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I have some breaking news coming out here for you. We're going to be talking about Russia's foreign minister. His name is Sergei Lavrov. This is him right here in the photo for you. So we've got a story that just recently he's stating that these F-16 fighter jets that the US and many other allies are going to be sending Ukraine are going to be considered nuclear threats to Russia. Now, we've heard this before. I actually heard this, I don't know, a couple months ago, even when these F 16s were first starting to be talked about more often. And Russia was saying that they were concerned with these being used in Ukraine because they were nuclear threats, because these F 16s are nuclear capable. Okay. They can carry tactical nukes on them. And obviously, this would be a major threat to Russia. So this is basically another red line for Russia right here, and we'll have to see if the West is willing to cross that. Because as far as I know, within the next month, they're supposed to be getting some F-16s over there in Ukraine. Okay, this has been widely talked about for months now, and I believe they're going to be receiving some. So I don't know how many they're going to be getting. I think it might be something like a dozen, maybe less. I don't think they're getting too many to start out. But regardless, Russia's warning here that these these warplanes are going to be a signal that NATO is ready for anything. Okay, that's what he said. That NATO's going to be ready for anything, including nuclear war. So once again, we are just continuously having nuclear war threats thrown from the Russian side repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. And that's why I keep stating here that, in my personal opinion, I believe we're the closest now to nuclear war than we ever have been in a very long time, or maybe even in history. Okay. We're very close to something major happening over here in Ukraine. There's just too many big events going on. These F 16s coming over here, Ukraine being able to strike Russian targets inside their own territory. Lots of big things happening. So I want to get right into this and start talking about this. I've got an article here on RT. Lavrov warns of nuclear threat posed by Western F 16s. Supplying the warplanes to Kiev is a signal that NATO is ready for anything. Look at that. Ready for anything, the Russian foreign minister has said. What do you think that means? What do you think ready for anything means? Ready for anything means in this world, in the world of what's going on in Ukraine with this war, this means nuclear war. Okay, it means that if they're willing to send F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine that are nuclear capable, then obviously NATO is ready for a nuclear war. That's what he means by that. Moscow will perceive deliveries of the US designed F 16 fighter jets to Ukraine as a deliberate signal from NATO in the nuclear sphere, indicating that the military bloc is ready for anything, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said. According to Lavrov, F 16 fighter jets have long been used as part of NATO's joint nuclear missions. Russia has warned repeatedly that it would regard the jets sent to Ukraine as a nuclear threat because of their capacity to carry atomic weapons. So there you go, straight from Sergei Lavrov, stating that because they have the capacity to carry atomic weapons, that's why they're considering this a nuclear threat. The fourth generation fighter planes have been at the forefront of Kiev's demands from military aid from the West in an effort to challenge Russia's air power advantage. In an interview with Rossiya Segodna, published on Thursday, Lavrov said that NATO was trying to signal it is literally ready for anything in Ukraine. We cannot help but consider the supply of these systems to Kiev regime as a deliberate signaling action by NATO in the nuclear sphere, he explained. So I really wonder if they're making these kind of statements, what will Russia actually do? I know there may be some people out there that might say, well, they're not going to do anything. They haven't done anything this entire time. There's been tons of red lines that are crossed. I agree with that. That has happened. I've seen it happen many times. But this one's definitely a nuclear threat. Okay, so obviously this has been something that's been talked about a lot. I've been hearing it a lot from the Russian side that they're willing to go to nuclear war if the time comes and if they feel threatened and they need to defend their nation. I wouldn't see the West supplying tactical nukes to Ukraine with these F-16s. It just wouldn't make any sense for them to do that. That would just obviously spark a strategic nuclear war. But I don't know. Really makes me wonder, and I'm curious what you guys think too. Do you think that Russia would respond here, or do you think this is another red line that they would simply just let them cross? So Belgium, Denmark, the Netherlands, and Norway have all pledged to supply Ukraine with US made F 16 fighters, although none of them so far have been delivered. However, earlier in May, Danish Prime Minister Met Fredriksson announced that the first planes would arrive in Ukraine in the coming month. So, pretty soon they're going to be getting these within a month. Ukrainian pilots are currently training on F 16s in Romania, where a NATO backed flight school for this purpose was opened late last year. Lavrov emphasized his view that furnishing Kiev with increasingly destructive weapons indicated the West's reluctance to end the Ukraine conflict. The foreign minister stated that F-16s would not change the situation on the battlefield, as they would be destroyed like other types of weapons supplied by NATO countries to Ukraine. In March, Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that the jets would be targeted by Russia at airfields in NATO countries if they operate from there. So, regarding this now too, they say that they'll just destroy these. Well, then if they think that they'll just destroy these F-16s, why are they so considerate about the U.S. strapping tactical nukes on these, or whatever they plan to put on them? Why are they so concerned if they're just coming out right and saying, well, we'll just go ahead and destroy them all anyway? I think that's kind of interesting that they're just speaking like that. Lavrov also cautioned the West against nuclear escalation, which could result in catastrophic consequences, adding that he hopes Russia's recent nuclear exercise conducted jointly with its ally Belarus will bring some sense to NATO. President Vladimir Putin ordered a drill earlier this month to test Russia's ability to use non-strategic nuclear weapons. The move was described as a reaction to hostile statements by the West. So, wow, guys, this is just getting crazier and crazier by the day over here in Ukraine, and this whole war with Russia and NATO. And it's just, man, the closer that we get to nuclear war, the more it starts to seem likely that it could really happen. And, I hope everybody's ready for this and prepared for this, because this could really just happen at a moment's notice. I don't think there will be any kind of major, announcement ahead of time or something. Maybe there could be, but this could just, set off at a moment's notice, and no one's even prepared for this. You could be at work or at school or in your car, or who knows where you're at, and definitely not in a safe place. And, most people in America live in major cities too. So, it's definitely something to start thinking about and start preparing for, because it could definitely happen. I'm not saying that it will, but I'm just warning that there's a possibility that we could see this happen. Okay, these statements that are coming out are getting more and more aggressive and provocative, and it's a matter of time before one side makes a major mistake or crosses a red line, and any nation could feel threatened, especially Russia. I think they feel the most threatened right now out of anybody. And that's why we're hearing these kind of talks where they're talking about nuclear war, and it's very possible. So just wanted to share this story with you. I thought it was a crazy, insane story when I heard about it, and we'll have to see how Russia responds to this whenever these F-16s actually make it to Ukraine. But that should be sometime in the next 30 days, maybe sooner. As far as I know, they're going to be getting them very soon. So let me know what you think down below. That's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. And also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.